welcome back to another video. We got some Elantra N goodies from SoCal Garage Works that we wanted to show you guys. We've never done the install or seen anybody do the install of these interior pieces. They are all carbon fiber and they're going to be new to SoCal's website soon, so be on the lookout. These are a couple vents for the for the air, and then we got a couple different pieces in here that we're going to show you, so stay tuned if you guys want to kind of see the install, and yeah, hope it helps. And the parts are completely OEM replacement, so remember the price might not be the cheapest, but of course with shipping from Korea, getting OEM parts from Korea, that all costs, unfortunately. So if you want good quality, it's really up to you whether you guys want to make that purchase. But we are just doing installs, so if you guys don't agree or you guys don't like the carbon, you're not a fan, perfectly fine. We're just hoping that we can help a couple of you out if you guys end up purchasing. That way it makes it just a little bit easier for you when install time comes. So here, for instance, this is like something I'm super happy about, which to each their own, but this replaces that blank space where there was just that circle picture on our cars. A lot of you guys know where I'm talking about, so yeah, I'm really excited that SoCal at least came out with a replacement. Keep in mind that with the design, the carbon, you guys can get different kinds, forged, twill. You guys can customize it. I'm sure it'll be all on SoCal's site once they become available, so you don't have to just stick with the carbon. If you don't like it, you can actually add a little twist on it, depending on what you choose to go with.
All right guys, so Emily showed you the carbon pieces that we're going to try to put in. I really have no idea of how to take apart this interior other than watching Boomba's video on how to remove the center console. So I'm going to try to just kind of do what I did with the Veloster when I had to take apart the actual gauge above the cluster, or the panel above the cluster, and that was first off by having to remove this piece. So in order to get to this, I'm going to pull this back a little bit, and we're going to try to pull this piece off. So you can kind of see if I push a little bit of force, it moves it, and I'm going to just try to see if this should just pop off. Yeah, there we go. I'm just going to push some force on here, and then this pops right off. So now that we have this off, I can see that the pieces that I'm going to want to replace are going to be, let me just take this off just in case if I need to have any room. I don't think I need to take this off. Actually, yeah, I do. So I'm going to take off this whole bottom piece and figure out how that comes off. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be these two screws, these three screws, 1, 2, 3. There's another screw that's going to be recessed in here, and I'm pretty sure it's going to pop off, but I'll go ahead and see if that's the case, and I'll let you guys know. But we're going to go ahead and pop that off, and then that should be able to expose to move this, so that way I can replace this piece and then hopefully get to it looks like. So let me show you guys how I had kind of an idea of how, and I'm going to show you on this piece right here that we got from Greg. As you can see, this is going to be a push tab of what's helping hold this in, but it looks like there's two screws that are being held in, and it looks like it's being held in from an area that you obviously can't get to even if you try just going from underneath. So that's why I'm removing all this, because I'm under the assumption just by looking at this piece that there's two screws. So we're going to pull it apart and see. I'm hoping we need to replace this anyways, and then I'm kind of nervous about doing that in, but I'm hoping it's just a couple of pieces that are really easy to take off. So we're going to see, and we'll go from there. Some people like to use power tools. You're more than welcome to use and like anything to take this off. You don't have to use any type of hand tool, but I just prefer to use this kind of stuff. So
Oops. I'm trying to get
So, excuse all of our wiring mess that's obviously tucked up underneath, and I can get to much better now because I've never taken this apart. So just if anybody's curious of what the heck we have going on here, this is going to be the controller for the airbag system that we haven't talked about in our videos yet, but the car's now on bag, so this is the controller for that. And then this is going to be our EK1 whenever we want to plug that in. I have this snuck in right here just in case if we want that there. And then
maybe we can zip tie them.
yeah. So now that we have that out of our way, don't mind any of this stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and start zip tying this stuff up out of our way and tucking it in here. Actually, let me do that first. That way everything looks better.
Zip ties, check. Either one will work fine.
Yeah, as long as you feel like it's
Secure.
yeah.
Okay.
I know that you probably like it right there, but the only thing I wanted to try to do was try to keep this somewhere, like if we can, like somewhere like this. And the only reason why I'm saying that is because I want to try to drill a hole straight in for this line so it's hidden. Do you know what I mean?
So something like this.
That, yeah.
But how is this gonna stick?
Oh, here you go. If you need to, go, here you
on?
go. You go like this and just take this off like this. You go like that. Pull that out.
This?
There you go.
No, I think you screw that on
There
here.
you go. And then this goes like this. Like this. Like that. And like that. And then I think we bought, and I think somewhere inside your glove box I had you put those little hooks somewhere a while ago. And then we can get this. You know what I mean? Alright guys, so I'm gonna start going to take apart this piece right here and then this piece right here because I don't know if there's a lip. I'm trying to look at this piece right here and it looks like there's gonna be a lip that this sits on, and it looks like there's only one screw that holds this in and everything else is clipped. So I'm gonna just remove this, pop this off. There's no other screws holding that in, and then we'll be able to get to this, and then hopefully we'll get to those two screws that looks like are holding that piece up. So
Hey, none of that. None of that right now. No. Go over there.
oh shit, there we go.
Don't break it, please.
Alright, so now that we have that piece off, I'm gonna go ahead and remove this one screw, and then this is gonna be the connector that is gonna be the one. This is gonna be the connector right here that I'm gonna have to disconnect. That is for this, and it's actually back here. So disconnect it this way, pull out that way, and these both, one feeds into this one feeds into the air vent, and then this should just come right off.
Oops. Oh, looks a little stuck.
Because these. So pulling this shit out is gonna feel like you're gonna break it. Just keep in mind, you wanna pull out in one direction and not like try to force it out to where this is gonna break. So I'm just trying to pull this straight out, and we're able to pull this out without breaking anything. So here's our little mechanism, and as you guys compare this to Greg's unit or SoCal Garage Works, if you're gonna compare the two, as you can see, they're identical markings on the top. It's a Hyundai piece, so you know, shout out to the real ones using quality parts like Greg, making parts for the community. So,
Sorry, my foot got stuck.
yeah, right.
I swear.
What the fuck?
What? There's another piece?
They want you to get to the screws from up above. Wow. This whole piece needs to come off. We're gonna have fun.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Let's pop your trunk and pop your hood and
The beauty of car parts, right? You just never know what's gonna happen.
So I really don't know if this is what I'm doing is even gonna be successful or not, but the only way it looks like for us to be able to take this piece off, because there's two screws and they're coming from the upside, is that's gonna pop off like that.
Oh, we can't take this off. Oh my gosh.
Is that it looks like this whole surround that goes all the way around has to come off. So I'm gonna try to take it off and see. So we're gonna figure out if that's what needs to be done. All right, guys. So I had to remove this piece right here. Same concept. Remove this, pry off from the bottom, and just pull out because everything's a straight pull out piece. And I'm gonna have to replace this piece right here. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I might as well, since I'm gonna have to take off this and figure out how that whole piece pops off. This is the airbag, so be careful with this. It's fucking A. Okay, so in order to remove this, guys, you just push in right here, and it pushes these out of the way, and you can rock this out. So before we do that, all right, so in this clip I'm really not too sure of how much of this we're actually gonna have to remove. So this piece right here I'm actually removing because it's gonna make it's so easy to remove, you might as well just remove it so that way it's out of your way. But you really don't have to follow me in all these steps as far as after you remove this grab handle, because I'm removing the center console so that way I'm able to reroute Emily's air controller. Okay, so that's how you take that piece off. I thought maybe that this had to come off, but we'll push this back in.
Trial and error, trial and error.
Told you guys I really don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to learn as we're going, and
yeah,
that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna learn as we go. Put that back in there for right now so that way I don't forget to push that back in. So this piece is gonna be replaced right now as well. It looks like right here when we take this out, oh no, that's not right there. So I don't know what's screwed in right here. Looks like nothing's screwed in right there. So we have that off, and it looks like now this. Alright guys, so it's off. This stupid thing right here was the hardest piece to try to get out right here. I just want to say that there really is no pretty way of trying to get this done besides trying to get a flathead or like some type of pry tool in here and pushing down on this while you're pushing out. So just want to give you guys the heads up that you know, this was a pain in the butt to take off, but it is possible. I would say two people, somebody pushing down on it like from this angle and somebody pulling straight towards them, and it eventually comes out. So we have this all off. We could pop in the pieces, but I want to go ahead and see about trying to take off this top piece so we can replace this as well. So we'll see about that and we'll continue. Now that that's popped out much easier. I think that's as good as it's gonna get right here, which it doesn't look bad.
So you need a fairly good amount of pressure
to push this kind of stuff in, because if not, if you're just kind of like barely pushing it, it's not gonna go in. You gotta like actually like push.
Yeah, like don't be afraid to push it. It's actually very sturdy and also very forgiving.
All right, and as you guys can see over there, we don't actually have to take apart the whole dash. I saw on the other piece that there was 3 little indentations that showed like this would actually the black piece right here would actually pop off. So I inserted this. This is where those 3 things are, and they're not accessible because of the cluster. So what I did is I put like a pry tool in between here and just slid it, and you started hearing these clips starting to come off. And I just ran the tool all the way across until I can get my fingers in and kind of like push like this, and then these 3 were left. And then after these 3, oh sorry, the battery's disconnected. After these 3 were left, I just had to pull it straight out and it came off. So I'm gonna do the same thing with the piece that we got from SoCal. I'm gonna take it off of that piece and I'm gonna reattach this, and I'm gonna send him this back so that way he has his core piece that we got from him. So we're gonna put this piece back in here. I'm gonna zip tie this line so it's out of the way of the shifter cables, and then we'll move along to reinstalling the grab bar, and then that last piece over there, and then just putting everything back together. So all this kind of stuff that I had did, you actually don't need to do. Like I said, I really didn't know what we were doing in the beginning. So
all right, you guys, so Henry said just pop this in here, and as you guys can see, it is coming out. Ow. Just be careful because there is resin. I don't know if any of you are going to try and do this, but okay, so as you guys saw, I snapped off this piece from the one that we got from SoCal, and then here we are just gonna hopefully snap in. All right, you guys, so it was hard to record and do this at the same time, but pretty much it's just snapped in really easy. Just be sure that sometimes you can put a good amount of pressure. Don't be too scared, because that's usually what it needs, just to snap right in. So as you guys can see, it's fitting flush, and I really like it, especially because there's carbon already, like with the steering wheel and stuff. And then of course, like the whole body kit, you know, fenders, hood is carbon fiber on my car. So to me, carbon obviously just fits and it flows. So yeah, to each their own. Again, do it if you want. Otherwise, of course you don't have to, but it's just an option for you guys, which is nice. So
all right guys, so after we have that piece in there, now we can go ahead and put this in. So angle, that way these 2 little knobs go in there, sits in, and then it'll kind of just sit up here. So now that this is in, we can put this screw in right here. So that's in. This is plugged in. We're gonna get this piece right here, and I'm gonna just clean it off, but pretty much we're gonna plug it in, then I'm gonna snap this piece back in. What else goes right here?
The
That
whole
whole
bottom
piece. Yeah, where's that bottom piece at?
Up your
Did
butt.
you clean it?
It's up your butt. Okay, so as you guys can see, it is OEM. It did still keep the ambient lighting here, so I'm really happy. I love the quality, and I know that SoCal is going to be coming out with the continuation on the other side of the carbon vent, so that's going to look really nice and completed. They're also coming out with the carbon grab handle, and I believe the area where your cup holders are. Make sure to hit up SoCal Garage Works if you want to purchase these separately. I'm sure he's going to work with you, so just make sure to reach out to them. And thank you all for watching today's video. We hope you enjoyed, and we hoped it helped some of you out. So we'll see you in the next one.